Hello there and welcome to Coding Studio. This is B, and in this video we are going to be talking about object destructuring and the spread operator. Now this is going to be a shorter video because this is a smaller topic. Nevertheless, this is very important. You're going to use it a lot because as of right now in 2020 this is one of the cleanest way to write code with objects and so on, and functions that takes objects as arguments. So here we have an object called user1. This is a user object per se, and what we're going to do, I'm going to first demonstrate object destructuring because that's the first building block of this whole thing. Basically, I've already shown this to you in the objects video, but I'm gonna show it again in case you just joined this course or whatever it is. So one way to get a property out of an object is and save it to a variable by the same name is, let's say, let username equal user1 dot username, and that way we get the username. I'm just gonna log it out. Username. If we run the code, it does get the username, right? B. Now it's all nice and understandable, but there is a better way to do this. Since they are the same name, we can actually just say that as we declare it to a variable, so let, and we know we want to take this from the user1 object, and we know that this for sure has a username key. In object notations we say username equals, and we make it equal to the object, which is user1, and that's about it, because we take the user object and we want to destructure the username from here. And if we log this out, so I run the program again, as you can see we get the same result because it finds the username key and gives us the value and saves it into the username variable. This is basically the way to destructure an object. And of course, if I want an other one, I don't have to say that age equal user1 and I want to console log age2. It does work, of course, but there's an easier way to do this, which is, I don't need this. I just put a comma here and say age. And by that, I took out both of these values from user1. That's how it works. This is fairly simple. And of course, if I want to create if I have two variables, I'm gonna delete this line now. So let species equal honeybee, and let gamefly equal, oh my god, I can't type. Let's make it a boolean for now, and I need a semicolon and a comma here. If I want to create an object and let's call it B equal, and I want to put these two things here, I could do that. Species is species because I want to make it equal to this variable, and I need colon and semicolon here, and canFly is canFly. This does work. If I log it out to the console, the object, I do get the desired result. But I actually don't need to do this because JavaScript can determine what I want, and if I put in a variable that has a value, it's just gonna say that this is the key, and the variable's value is gonna be the value of this key. So I actually get the same results like this. This is part of object destructuring, in my opinion. This is a back and forth game. So now that we have established how to destructure something, let's say how can we use the spread operator with objects. So I created a hollow function here, called it add password, and what I wanted to do is takes the user object, adds a password with spread operator. Now this is fairly simple. I will create lat password equal, let's say secure, which is not a very secure password, I tell you, and I want to return a new object, return, and I want to return a user object here, and let's say that, yeah, let's say it gets the user which we want here, and it adds the password to the user object. Now what I could do is just say that user.password equals password or something like that, but it's way better if I just spread the user here. And what it does is now we created a new object which is exactly like the user it gets from here. So if I were to say add password, so I'm calling the function and I give it the user1 object, and I log it out to the console so that we can see it actually. We returned this very object that we got here this way. So we are spreading the object into another object. And actually, since it's a new object, we can give it properties with a comma, like a normal object. So password. And I want the password to be equal to the password's values. And as I showed it to you before, you do not have to do anything special for it. We already have a password key with the secure value. So if we look it out again, as you can see, our new object does have secure. So that's how you spread in an object. Okay, next one. What we're going to do is takes a user object, gets the age and the rest of the properties with the spread operator, adds one to the age and returns the object. Now what I want is, it takes a user, and what we want to do is almost the same as we have done up there. We want to return the user when we have already added one to the age. Now we can destructure this object right here in the parameter, because if we are sure what kind of object we will get, and let's say we are sure, so we are sure that we are going to get an object that has a username, age, email, maybe a password, but let's say we go with username, age and email this time. We can destructure age right here, and from there on it's like a variable. We can use that age here, but I want the rest of the properties too, because I will have to return the whole object, but I want to say age as a different variable. We could destructure the whole thing, age, username, email, etc., but I don't want that. What I want is spread it and say rest, or it doesn't have to be called rest, it's ageless user, because we took out the age, so the rest of the thing which we are getting with spread operator is the object without the property age, so it's username, email here. So we have it differently. I'm just gonna call it rest because it's easier later on. And what we want to do is, let's say age plus 1, because we are adding 1 to the age, and then we just put the rest back in with 3 dots. That's the spread operator. And if we were to log it out to the console, birthday, and we are adding user 1, from 29 it should go up to 30, and there it is. And that's how you destructure in the parameter. So you give it the object, it takes out the age and the rest of the properties, does something with the age, and gives us back the whole thing because it spreads the rest back in, as I just showed you with password. And that's how you destructure and use the spread operator with objects. And I'm pretty sure you're going to use it a lot, especially if you are using some kind of flux or redux later on with a major framework like React, Vue, or Angular. You're going to use this a lot. At least I do. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe. If you don't understand something, disagree, or just curious, please leave a comment. I will do my best to answer it. Thanks for watching again, and see you in the next video, which I don't yet know what it will be. So see ya.